We live. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I got it today.
Yeah, you hit that
My
note
vocals
today.
is good today. What's going on? Freedom Finder family. We got a special one for you today. It is the consistent daily action show on this good Saturday. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
feels good outside. The sun is trying to shine through up here in Indy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna need it to come on. You know what I mean? I need that sunlight on my skin. You know what I mean? So what's going on with your Shaq? We got a special guest with us today, Mr. Elliot Nelson, man. You know, we had our his wife on, my cousin, you know what I mean, on a couple weeks ago, you know, what about that, about a month ago. You know what I mean? Now we got him on. He's doing some big things. We needed him to come talk to us and learn us something today. That's what we needed from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how y'all doing today? What's up, Shaq?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm just hydrating this morning with my oral water. You know
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
saying? Making sure I'm,
Branding.
got a little, see the gratitude back there. Y'all can't see it with the wait till I finish the water, y'all be able to see. But I'm just hydrating today, man. I ain't got no mic like these two, so I'm gonna act like I'm official today, man. I'm gonna hold it right here, But nah, I'm good, man. How you feeling, Elliot?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, it's Saturday, Memorial Day weekend. Blessed, man. Starting a new venture. Coming in a few days, actually, and that's a wild story that
Love it.
tell eventually. But yeah, we're moving on up, man. So I'm trying to take a few days to just chill out for a moment before this next season of my life. So
I got you, dog. Hey, man, we feel you. We feel you. So let's go ahead and get to it. If anybody's in the building, in the comments, go ahead and put what you're grateful for down in the comments right now. Put them in the comments. We're gonna get started. So first segment is our gratefulness. You know what I mean? What are you grateful for today? Attitude of gratitude is pivotal in your life. I promise you it is. So Shaq T, what you grateful for today, man?
Oh man, I'm grateful for waking up this morning. Like
Yes,
you say, every day waking up is better than $1 trillion, baby.
Big T.
I've been catching on $1 trillion.
Quick with it. Yeah. Man, I'm grateful for this show. You know what I'm saying? Get up. I've been able, this is my first time I've been on the show 4 days in 1 week, and I can guarantee you it's made my day start that much better, man. So I'm grateful for this show, and what we're able to bring to the world and what that can bring to us, man. And finally, man, I'm just grateful for my relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? I hold that at the center of my life. That keeps me grounded, keeps me focused.
Love that, dog. Love it, man. So well, I'm grateful for this morning. I'm grateful for waking up because it is better than $1 trillion.
Big T.
Big T. It's always better than this. Hey man, if you don't wake up, you can't spend none of that money you got. You know what I mean? That money you clamoring for, that money that's all that you care about. Hey man, if you don't wake up in the morning, if God's done with you, you done for. So all that time was just wasted. You know what I mean? So, and I'm grateful for this life. I'm grateful just to be alive, being able to take a deep breath in the morning. That means God has a plan for me. He ain't done with me yet. If he was done with me, I'd be dead. So I'm just grateful for this life and another opportunity to do God's purpose in my life. And last but not least, I'm grateful for being grateful. The attitude of gratitude saved my life, man. Once I started being grateful for what I had, life just turned right around, man.
Yeah.
Right around. So what about you, Elliot, man? What you grateful for this morning?
I'm grateful for waking up every morning because it's better than $1 trillion.
Yes, sir. Big T.
Big T.
I'll be at home in front of the TV like $1 trillion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for waking up every day. Like I love when y'all say that, but I'm also grateful for, the little family that God blessed me with, and my wife and my daughter. They are joy of my life. They are the reason why I do, a lot of the things that I do. I'm grateful for God because if it wasn't for him, I really wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in this position. I wouldn't be a husband, a father, a business owner. I wouldn't be any of those things. So I'm grateful for him. And I'm just grateful for life in general, man. Just to be able, we just came out of a pandemic. So just to see everyone still healthy, everyone that I love still healthy, still moving. Even, people I went to school with, homecoming gonna be lit. And so I'm glad to just see, everybody, still here and still working and still moving. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Love that, man. Love it.
Man, that's no small thing to gloss over either. Like this was like the biggest pandemic of our generation. I think like the biggest one since the flu of 1912?
1918. 1918.
Something
Yep.
like that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like that this is a once in a generation thing. We, you know, so we are extremely blessed, man. Like Elliot said, let's just take time to appreciate that, man.
Definitely. So I mean, hey, we ain't got nobody in the building today. I mean, hey, they gonna come. I know the Freedom Fighter family cooking up, man. We appreciate y'all joining.
Did that notification come through?
No, that's the problem. Facebook, quit playing with us.
Man, come on, Mark.
Right, come on, Mark, man. Quit playing with us. But anyways, it's all good. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment of the show, which is our positive affirmations. You know, just speaking into existence, which are I am statements today, man. So go ahead, Shaq, man. What's your affirmations?
So this was like I'm trying to log on myself, my bad.
It's all
good. I am an MBA candidate, and I appreciate Mr. LaShawn for sending over that information. I am the owner of a very lucrative real estate portfolio, and I am creating generational wealth.
Yes, sir. Love that, dog. Lucrative real estate portfolio. It's coming. Yeah. It's coming. They doing the inspection on the crib right as we speak. I love it. They're gonna send me the report too. I can't wait. Oh man. This stuff is getting expensive, but it's okay. You know what I mean? All right. So we get to it, dog. I'm gonna need my money from you and these guys. I'm gonna need that.
I got you, bro.
I'm gonna need that. It's coming. Once we close, I'm gonna need that money.
Yeah.
But for my affirmations this morning, I am happy, I am healthy, I am mentally and emotionally strong, and I am consistent. Consistency is key. It is key to this life. Whenever you fall, consistency is whenever you fall off. It's closing the gap when you come back home, man, and get to what you're supposed to be doing. That's what consistency is, because you always gonna fall off.
Thanks.
It's gonna happen. Nobody's ever always consistent. It's just closing that gap, man. That's all it is. So consistency is key, I promise. So what about you, Elliot, man? What's your affirmations today?
So I am an heir. I'm an heir of God. I'm a son of the Most High. I am a husband. I'm a father. But more importantly, I am the creator of generational wealth, creator of an inheritance that was not afforded to me. I'm even going to say it. This is my first time saying it. Like Shaq inspired me to say this, but I am a $1 million crypto investor.
There it is.
Get it.
I'm gonna claim that right now because I've been active with it. See, I'm a $1 million crypto investor holder, and I'm a business. I'm an owner of multiple businesses, not just one, multiple businesses, and I am the first millionaire in my family.
Love it.
Claim it and own it. Make it yours. Yes,
we
sir.
on the way, dog. We on the way. Love it. All right, man. So let's go ahead and move on to our actions. You know what I mean? So
we gotta get that notification.
I know it. It's all good. They cooking up in the comments. We gonna let them breathe for a little bit. Just gonna keep it rolling. Let's go into our next segment of the show. Is our daily actions, man. It's the most important segment of the show, man. This is why I told when we talked to the kids back at Warren. This is what I told them. Out of everything y'all heard today, action is the most important. Please take that away. Because you can say all the I ams, you can say all the anything you want to, you know what I mean? Elliot just said he is $1 million crypto investor, but if he don't take no action on it, you know what I mean? What's gonna happen? You can say it all day. I mean, you can say it all day. So hey man, action is so important. So what was your actions yesterday and today, Shaq T?
Yeah, so yesterday hit all my actions, man.
Hey,
clean 5
head clap, perfect.
Perfect. Yes, sir. Today, man, I got a heavy research day for real. So my first set of research, man, I'm gonna do a lot of MBA research, man. I'm gonna look into that consortium, look for other scholarships, man, and really just narrow down to my top 2 schools. At 12 o'clock, got a DP Life School meeting. We're meeting with a grant writer. So gonna lock in and get some things rolling with that. Then I got I've been out here for like 8 months, man. And I got a dentist, I was able to find a black dentist, black woman. I've actually got an appointment with her in June, but I haven't found a primary care provider yet, man. So I'm just going to dig in, man, and find some healthcare providers out here, who I want to check out. Then What else? What else we got, man? Then I'm gonna do some real estate research, man. Like I said, I got my credit app filled out, man. Been working with my realtor out here. That boy Chris, he ahead of the game, man. So I got to catch up.
I'm not playing. We about to close in a month.
A day full of research today, man.
Got you. Appreciate that, Shaq, man. Action is so important. And Shaq got all the actions today. So for me, I went perfect yesterday. Perfect 5 for 5. Perfect. I mean, come on, perfect. Yeah, we got it in yesterday, man. You know, and I was not about to work out too, but I was just like, no, let me get up and go in this gym and get this pump out. And I felt so good afterwards. Mm-hmm. Right? Just gotta stay with the consistency on that, man. Stay with consistency and eating better. It just has to happen for Chris Harley. But my actions for today, I gotta write, read. I gotta go to the store. I go to the mall. And I gotta get my hair cut. And we going out to going to vacation today. You know what I mean? It's gonna be all right. I'm gonna be in there chilling, you know, like probably with my mask on. You know, AD back in town. He like, bro, we gotta go. So yeah, we can go, right? It's like going
to about to come out tonight. Wow.
Oh man, Dizzle. That's exactly today. today. Yeah. So we go to vacation and then you know, just chilling for the rest of the night, man. It's Saturday. We just gonna, you know, let it breathe and then go over that report for the inspector today. So yeah, that's what I got going. So what about you, Elliot?
So yesterday, well, I mentioned my in-laws are in town, so ain't too many actions going on, but I was able to edit our podcast episode with my wife and I, and put that out there. So that was the one thing, and then cleared out a junk drawer that needed to be cleared out. Very bad and everything like that. So I was super proud about that. So those are really the two things on my list. So I think you could say I'm perfect too on that one.
There you go, perfect.
And not only that, you know, today's actions is really continuing to spend time with the fam. Going out to eat with my family and you know, my wife's family as well. And so, yeah, just enjoying this weekend, man. And also, you know, because I want to be $1 million crypto investor, studying with the IML Academy, being able to, you know, get those resources and figure out how to not only, you know, invest in Bitcoin and all these major coins, but also how to trade them just like Forex. And so I'm trying to really get to that bag this year. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Love that, dog. That's the bag is coming. I promise. The bag is coming for all of us. When you take that action on things that you say you're gonna do, things that are proven to work, all you gotta do is take action on. You can't just say it, and that's what I'm saying. Most important thing is action.
Ellie, I got to connect with you after this, man, because we're having some stock market webinars live, man, and I want crypto to be a part of that. So, you know, we're going to connect, man. I want you to come in. You don't have to be an expert. You ain't got to be 10 years in the game. I really want to hear from people who are in it now, you know what I'm saying, and what's the experience, man. So I'm going to connect with you after. I think we in that group chat together, man. So I'm going to find your number. I'm going to hit you up, though.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Connection. So we got Larea in the building. What's going on, cuz? She said, I'm grateful to be alive. I am grateful to be with family. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. She also said in town visiting her sister and Elliot, since they only want to say the parents are here. I'm here also.
I said family. I said Larissa's family. Don't do that.
She said, "Nah, you ain't about to leave me out." So
right.
I wasn't left off bad and bougie.
Right. Who was left off bad bougie? Who left off bad bougie? So we got DeAndre in the building. What's going on, dog? He hit us with another banger. He said, "Good morning, you guys. I'm grateful for waking up on this Saturday morning. I'm grateful to be grateful. I am a leader. I am a strong, proud Black young man. I am a role model. I am successful. I am stress-free. I'm a go-giver. I am happy. I am home for the summer vacation. Came home yesterday. I went to the barbershop earlier this morning. Ooh, clean cut. I got to join you. I'm going. My appointment at 2:30. I'm gonna join you, dog. We went to the barbershop earlier this morning and chilling a little while. Hung out with family members today. You guys stay strong. Be blessed on this Saturday morning. Hey, man, we appreciate you, DeAndre. Always coming in since day one. He was messing with us, man. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you. So
man, he been here longer than me. Actually, I ain't start coming on the show till like the hundreds.
That's what I'm saying. He been with us. He been with us since day one. We was real and raw when I was still saying ridiculous stuff on live. You know what I mean? You know, it's all about growth. You know what I mean? That's what I call growth. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the last segment of our consistent daily action. Then we're going to get into, a little bit more about Elliot and what he got going on. So the last segment is our wise words. Hey, man, you got wise words. Freedom Fire family, put them in the comments, man. That it could help somebody today. And that's might be what God's purpose for you today, man. Is put some wise words in the comments to help somebody else. So go ahead and put that in there. So Check T, what's your wise words today?
Yeah, man. You kind of already touched on it earlier when you were talking about consistency, man. But my wise words inspired by one of my favorite rappers, Fab, man. He said, real ones might fall back, but they never fall off. So, as you stay consistent, as you, build yourself up, man, you're going to fall. It just, you're going to fall back, man. But you build that base, you stay consistent, you won't ever fall off. You'll be able to just fall back and then, redirect, get yourself right back on track, man. So, real ones don't fall off. You might fall back, but, never fall off.
Love it, dog. Love it. Love it. Just got to change your mindset, man.
Absolutely.
Change what them words mean, man.
Yep.
Change what them words mean in your mind. It's all right.
Yep.
So yeah, man, never fall off, only fall back. But for my wise words today is, I tell you guys every day, I'm never going to stop. I'm trying to tell you, I'm never going to stop. It's being your real and raw self, man. Got the shirt on today. I'm being my real self today. These people going to feel it at vacation today. It's Harley Sosa coming out today.
Yes,
it's Sosa coming out today. But nah, man, be your real and raw self, man. It's the way you're going to find the most happiness, joy, peace, fulfillment, anything that you need in this life. It comes by being yourself and being the person that God made you to be. The God made you to be and fulfilling his purpose in your life. Not anybody else's purpose, not anybody else's expectations on you. Get all that weight, get all that stupid weight up off of you, man, and be free and be yourself. Life is easier that way. I promise you it is. It is easier that way. So that's my wise words for you today, man. So what about you, Elliot, man? What's your wise word?
So anytime someone tells me to do some wise words, the pastor in me starts to
glory.
No, so recently, for the past actually month, I've been reflecting on the fact that what they say on business all the time is that the most terrible thing you can do for a business is say that we've always done it this way. And I think in life itself, as a people, it is terrible for us to say it's always been this way. Whether, however you grew up, however you've known it to be, we aren't supposed to really, one, stay the same, but two, we aren't supposed to bring the things in that worked before into a new season, into a new era, into a new space. And so my wise words would be to innovate yourself. Why is it that Apple continues to reinvent the wheel? Why is it that Samsung continues to reinvent the wheel? Why is it that Elon and Tesla continues to reinvent the wheel? Because in order to be palatable in where you are now, in the generation that you are now, you have to innovate yourself. You have to kind of get within in line of what's going on, and not to say you're supposed to be like them. You are supposed to be different. But I believe wholeheartedly that if you're going to change anything in your family tree, you're going to have to reinvent, and you're going to have to constantly be in a state of reinvention. Every year, I always look to, how can I reinvent myself this year? How can I make myself better this year, better than the past version? And how can I give myself system updates like we get with Apple all the time throughout the entire year? So that's my wise words. Innovate yourself.
Yes, sir.
Like you used to. So yeah,
that's hard.
That's it right there.
That's one of my favorite concepts.
I know it. That's what I'm saying.
We'll have a whole nother show on breaking down old traditions, and man, we can. But that's hard.
Yeah. We can get into it. No, we can get into it. We got time today. We got time today. And so Lorraine, come on now, we got time today. Lorraine said her wise words. I always say this: talk to yourself nice. Be kind to yourself. You got to give your former self grace. All yourself that made all those mistakes, that did all those dumb things that you knew you weren't supposed to do.
Yeah,
you knew you weren't supposed to do it. It's all good, because obviously God still has a plan for you because you're here today. So have grace on your former self. Yeah, your former self made all those mistakes. It's all good. God already forgave you. You gonna forgive yourself?
Yeah. True.
That's all that's about. He already forgave you. He already passed it. He's trying to move forward. He's trying to move you forward. So what's going on? He waiting on you.
I got the soundboard, so I think you need some flex bombs.
Come on now. There it is. There it is. Yeah.
There you go. And drop something for yourself too, man.
Right. Yeah.
Drop,
Fire.
Man. Yeah.
Fire.
Hey, we got the fam, in the comments. And then we got shout out to Loretta with the share tag. She gave a share tag. I ain't got no soundboard. I'm just, straight manual, man. But, share tag. Auntie in the house. She said Auntie is in the house this AM.
What's going on, Auntie?
April Perrianne Turner. The rest, she's like, where did Elliot go? Auntie April came, she said, wise words, hard times don't last. It'll be over after we live through it. So that's a fact,
It is. Big facts. Big facts. Appreciate that, fam. We got the fam in the building today. We appreciate that. So so this next segment, we're gonna go into what Elliot got going on, man. He got some real powerful things going on. He's gonna have some real powerful words. I guarantee it for you guys today. So what's going on, Elliot Nelson, man? Go ahead and just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you got going on.
So for those that you all that don't know me, I'm Elliot. I was born and raised here in North Carolina, Raleigh to be specific, but we're a little bit 10 minutes away from Raleigh. So I call it Raleigh. My wife calls it Wake Forest. It's going to be Raleigh for me because I'm a Raleigh kid. But yeah, I was born and raised here and, went to college in Durham, North Carolina, which is, 25, 30 minutes down the road, to North Carolina Central University, one of the greatest HBCUs of all time.
Okay.
I just want y'all to know that. If anybody's looking for a good school, you need to go to North Carolina Central University. I mean that. And then after that, I got my business degree, concentrated in marketing. And then got my master's from Liberty University. So I'm very heavily in the digital marketing space, and praise be to God that I get to kind of go back into that field after being kind of out of it over the past few years, honestly. So I'm very grateful for that. And not only that, I'm a husband. As you see, my wife is down there with my last name. So wondering where I was, I told her last night that I was going to be on the show. She forgot. That, and then also a father of a little girl. And other than that, I'm a business owner as well, looking to build some incredible businesses that was looking to change lives and help people understand the importance of an inheritance, and really, eventually help other people build their dream business so that they can leave an inheritance on this earth as well. It's called the Air Collective. And one business that we're working on, business / I guess kind of lifestyle brand, is the Air Society. We're appointing sons and daughters back to the Father. And so right now my wife and I have a podcast called On Air Podcast, where we kind of dive into some more faith-based, topics. Also talk about our lives as sons and daughters. A part of the reason why her and I are together is because we believe we had an inheritance. We believe that we had access to God, and we had an access that was so powerful that it kind of, merged us together. And so we've been walking into some of that powerful stuff, even now. Like, I guess I can tell a little bit of this testimony, but I had quit my job. I was ready to kind of go into full-time entrepreneurship. And then out of nowhere, I got a couple of emails about a job that was paying more than I've ever, been paid for in my life. And I was like, still kind of anti-corporate. Still like, nah, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm just not, I'm so sick of it. I was trying to find my freedom at the same time too. But then, I got a couple of emails and then, did one interview, and this lady called and said, hey, you don't need to do a second interview. We want to offer you the job. And it was just super random, super, super crazy. And I just think, that in and of itself and part of the message that, we look to kind of push out there is that you never know when God is going to just throw something at you, because you are faithful. Because you are faithful to him. And so, that is part of my story, just having that inheritance of God and being able to have access to him, even when I'm not looking for anything. He still gives it to me. So that's powerful in itself, is that know that I have such an inheritance that I can literally tap into it at any point in time, and I cannot even want it sometimes, and he still pours it to me. So yeah.
I love that, dog. I love that so much. So that's the first thing that we want to dive into is the Air Collective, man. Tell us more about it and tell us why you guys started this.
Yeah. So the Air Collective, it really started in 2016 when I was actually in my middle of my master's program, and I was actually looking at the Grammys one day, and it was Kendrick Lamar performing, and we haven't had a Kendrick Lamar performance in such a long time.
Right, man. He need to come back. Come back.
Like, for real. But yeah, I was looking at his performance, and something came up to me called Black Royalty, and it kind of stuck with me a long time ago, where I had these little chess pieces on the shirt, and I still got the shirts. I just haven't. I think I'm into a new season now, so maybe that's going to be a closeout sale going on.
There we go.
But they had chess pieces, and it was the king and the queen. I started looking up. I've never been really fluent in chess, but I started looking at the meaning behind the king piece and the queen piece, and how they're both protectors of each other in and of itself. But you're trying to protect the king, in the same token. And then I started seeing that obviously they're black pieces too. And I said, "Yo, like there's something here," and I wanted to explore it more. So originally, I started, selling I call it my first digital online business, which was the Black Royalty. Is claiming to African Americans that we are royalty. We are what they thought that we aren't. We are the chosen people. And so I sold a good amount of those shirts, but then I really started to see a whole lot of uptick in this kind of, niche or industry. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think I want to go a different direction now. And I really didn't think it through until I kind of sat with the business for a few years, and I said, yo, this is bigger than what I thought it was be, especially when it came to the word air. And originally the word Air Collective, or the name Air Collective, came from, I was listening to a Lecrae song, and he said, in the song, he said, if I die tonight, just know I made me an air or two. And some people comment and say, yo, he said error and not air. I heard air, and I'm taking it to my grave.
There it is.
It's like that Lloyd song. Did he say 5-2 or
5-2? It's 5-2. Right. It's 5-2. I don't care what everybody says.
It's 5-2. It's 5-2. But 5-2 really works as well. But no, so I heard that the word air just stuck with me for some reason. And as I began to travel, as I began to kind of walk in whatever this was, I started to realize that there was a super importance for not just the Black community, but also to Christians to be able to build an inheritance that they can leave on this earth. And that screamed to me multiple businesses. And once I heard that, I was like, all right, so we're just not doing the Black royalty thing no more then, because clearly we're talking about something bigger than that. And I'm not saying that obviously Black royalty and putting, power into our community, into our dollar isn't important. But I believe God started to have me think through a global inheritance and being able to say, yo, like, I want you to not only have an inheritance here in the nation, but I want you to have a global inheritance, global businesses. I want you to look through how we can create businesses that extend to all edges of the earth. And that's when it got real serious for me. And I said, okay, I kind of, really wanted to not, and I'm not saying the Black royalty was really anything, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't something that I just did and it just put down. It was definitely something, there was definitely a meaning to it. But then as I began to kind of continue on and doing what I was doing, I realized that there was some more meaning behind it. And so the very first brand, well, I won't say the very first brand post that Larissa's the very first brand. I'll just give her that. Once she married me, she kind of, came into this inheritance thing too. And so I call her the flagship brand, where, she's obviously already extending past global territories already with her YouTube channel and her Instagram and things like that. And so she's already.
Go ahead, plug your wife, man. Where can they find her at, man?
They can find her at Go ahead, get your phone out. No matter where you are, get your phone out. You can follow her on Instagram, Larissa Nelson. You can follow her on YouTube, Larissa Nelson. She don't really share her Twitter like that. I think she want to keep it that way. But yeah, you can find her there.
Say what she want to say.
Right. But yeah, she's an influencer. She's an incredible influencer. I tell her about herself all the time, and she don't be, she humble. I feel like you can be humble and encourage yourself at the same time. But I just tweeted the other day. I said, yo, her last video, super bomb, super, like, she just has a keen eye for a lot of this stuff, and I'm always impressed by her. But she is my flagship brand, or our flagship brand. She's the one that's kind of carrying that type of, I guess, grace in and of herself. And then the next brand that we got is the Air Society. That's something that I have been able to kind of sit back and be able to draw from my visionary gift and be able to say, all right, like I want people to communicate through fashion. I want them to be able to not even communicate through fashion, but communicate through, just the aesthetic of digital media in and of itself. So that's why we have a podcast, and that's why we're doing shirts as well. And honestly, it's one of the biggest things for me is that I want other people, not just myself, not just my wife, but I want everyone in this world to be able to know that God created an inheritance for them to have and to be able to astute to that. And to know that we have generations coming up after us that probably are not going to benefit from an inheritance, but we can change that. And I believe, scripture says that, greater works are these that you'll do. And I believe that our parents did, an incredible work. But I think now it's our time to be able to take that, that banner, that mantle, that, whatever you want to look at it and say, all right, how can we take this and how can we plow through and do greater works? So that's kind of my mission and standpoint, is to be able to build multiple businesses. And I'm thinking of just kind of honing in on e-commerce businesses and product-based businesses, because there's a lot of, service-based businesses now. There's a lot of people who are building, agencies. And one of the things I despise almost at this point is everyone becoming brand strategists and digital marketers. And, we appreciate you. Like I'm a digital marketer by career, but I'm also by trade, meaning that I do it for myself. And so, I don't mind helping other people and things like that, but I just think there's so many of them. And when we look at all these other product-based businesses, we're looking at people who may not be of Jesus, may not be of faith. And, they make great products, but how can we put our products and make it long lasting, like Apple, like Amazon? Like how can we, do that? And so that's part of the mission that I'm on now.
I love that, man.
It's funny that you mentioned that that part about everybody wanting to call themselves a brand strategist or a marketing guru, because that's how I'm an engineer by trade, by background, and people took that term and watered it down too. It's I'm a sanitation engineer. I'm a like, man, we appreciate what you do, but you come to and pick up the trash. You know what I mean? We appreciate it. There's nothing wrong with it, but you're not really an engineer. But so I definitely feel you on that, man.
Yeah, man.
My question, I gotta so obviously, man, you're a strong man of faith. As all three of us up here are, and so we've all been tested. So my question to you is, how has your faith been tested? And then how did you grow from that?
That's a good question. So
that's it.
So I might have said this on our last episode of the podcast, but I feel like you are never going to walk through life without your faith being tested, period.
That's it.
I think every year, not even every year, really almost every day, your faith going to be tested. And so I think one of the biggest things for me, especially when my faith had been tested the most, and it might sound crazy, it's not even, it was after I got married, but it was when we were deciding to move from Indiana to North Carolina. And one of the big things that we talked about on our podcast was that a lot of people don't know, like, I'm someone who I won't move unless I feel like, hey, this is something that has to be done. Period, point blank. When I moved to Indiana the first time, I was like, I don't know, like Indiana, like cold, not gonna do it. But I felt an indignation. Yo, you need to go. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to do it this 5-degree weather. I'm gonna have to go work at FedEx a little bit. I'm gonna have to, till the soil a little bit, but I'm willing to do it because I feel an indignation to do it. This time around, though, I felt the indignation to do it. We had a plan. The plan had worked to its point up until like 24 hours before we had to hand over the keys to our apartment, where like it just seemed like everything was trying to fall through at the wrong moment. Here I am, the husband, the leader, and I'm sitting here like, yo, we're supposed to move. We're supposed to be in our new apartment in 24 hours. And I'll be honest with, like, it was the income that we were looking for. We were waiting for a specific payment, and they took forever to pay this. I mean, to the last second. It not only was my faith tested, but it pissed me off. So it was like, all right, how do we have a correct plan. Dot all our I's and all of our T's. Put it before God. And then here we are looking like we're not about to have no place to live for however long. And it was a test for me because, and this is why I'm a very proponent of the heir, being an heir. It was a test for me because I literally heard the Lord say, are you going to trust me as Abba? Are you going to trust me as your father? If so, don't worry about it. I got it. But my flesh was like, I hear you saying that. But
I hear it.
My account, dog. Like, I need my account. These movers are coming tomorrow. They're not going to back up nothing the money. Like, what we doing? Like, what are we doing for real? Yeah. And so I'm scrambling. I'm literally like, yo, all right, let me go apply for a loan or something to get us over into this payment whatever. And literally the next morning I woke up, bloop, in the account. Biggest test of my faith of my life. Because everything is on you. Like your wife is looking at you like, yo, dog, like we came up.
How's this gonna happen? What we gonna do?
Like, and she even asked me, she was like, so what's the plan B? I literally looked at her and said, this is the only plan. I don't have a plan B. I'm going to be honest with you. I had the dream, and I mean, and there's so many other variables to it. I had a dream about us, being here. Many other people kind of came in and dropped words and things like that. So it was a really big thing. And I was like, yo, I don't have any other plan. There's only one plan. This is the plan. Like, God has to come through. If he doesn't come through, it's on him, not me. Like, he gonna have to handle that. But it was a test of my faith because I realized that, yo, like, I don't have full control of what happens. I don't. I can't.
That's
I can't
it.
make somebody hit the send button on the money. Like, I can't do it. It's really on. I mean, yes, it's on the other entity, but it's really on God. And so I started living my life now where every day is on him. I can't control what happens. I can't control what happens when my daughter wants to be up on Waffle House with me this morning and wants to cut up, and I'm trying to wait on this food for it to go. Like, I can't control that. It just happens. And it irritates me sometimes, but at the same time, that's the reason why I'm an heir, is that I have access to him, but I don't have control. I would never have control, and I should relinquish my control and just allow him to do his perfect work. So
exactly. I love that, man. That's what E-Rob gets on the show to say. When he gets on, that's what he gets on to say, that control the controllable. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to control what you can control, because what you can't control, you got to leave it up to God, just like you said. You got to leave it up to God because you can't do nothing about it. So you just got to be patient. Yeah. And that is the hardest thing to gain in this life, is patience.
Facts.
The hardest skill to acquire is patience. I understand that. But let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit, man. I want to know something, because, this is something that I'm looking to do eventually in my life. Tell us about married life, man, and how to navigate the waters of, a married life.
So
be careful. She online.
I know, Jay, right? Tia, she be all right. It's man.
Yeah, she'll be right. But she also hears a lot of the things that I've kind of gained while being married. And for I always try to tailor everything to men, because I'm not a wife. I don't know how to be a wife. I don't want to know how to be a wife. In and of itself, I think wives don't want to know how to be a husband. Period, point blank. Like, we don't want to touch each other's kind of role. But I think for men, one of the biggest things that I've seen recently, especially with guys that are dating, is that they sometimes forget that we have to die to our ego. One of the big things for men is that we have an ego, and we want to hang on to that ego. Instead of, like, one of my brothers was telling me about his girlfriend having an argument. I was like, dog, like, why you so pressed on winning an argument for? For what? It's not going to do nothing. Like, why are we so pressed about winning arguments? And so I told him, said, you need to let go of your ego. We all need to let go. I have to fight to let go of my ego too. Like, Elliot, bite your tongue. Shut up. Like, don't, like, why are you gonna fight that for? For what? It makes no sense at all. And we run ourselves, rampant trying to fight our ego. The number two thing is that one of the things I tell all new married men is that you need to give your wife grace and not your wrath.
Ooh.
Scripture says kindness leads to repentance. And so when if she online, I'm gonna talk about it. When Larissa, make me upset, I'm just gonna be kind. I'm not going like, maybe there's a reason why she's upset and that she's making me upset, or she might be, sending some triggering words, but I'm gonna be kind, because at the end of the day, if I'm kind enough, she's gonna realize, wow, I did something wrong, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna repent, or I'm gonna apologize for it. But for the most part, our jobs as husbands is to ensure that we provide an environment where they can thrive. And so, yeah, then now on another side of that is grace does not mean take anything that they just give to you. You don't have to put your foot down, of course, but eventually, like you got to know and learn when to open your mouth and when to not. When to, like Scripture says, be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. So you want to be quick to listen. You want to really, just manage your words wisely, and you don't want to, shape up. And you want to shake the table a little bit, but you don't want to shake it too much where they are
screws come out.
Like your screws come out. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. You are the second married man that has said that and said that to me, talking about give your wife or your girl grace and not your wrath. Yeah. Man, that must be for me. That must be for me,
talking
because
to you, bro.
It must be talking to me. I guess it must. All right, God, I hear you. You know what I mean? I must be notorious for that. So that's what it is. That's how I feel like it's gonna work out now. Hey man, I appreciate those words, though.
I want to stay on the topic of marriage, man, and and ask a question, because I believe in the institution of marriage. I grew up, my parents are still married. Both of my grandparents, I was blessed to have them in my life up until this past year. They were both married. So I've seen marriages last, for a lifetime. I'm not going to say whether successful or not. That's a different word, but I've seen, marriage last. So, today, in today's world, we don't really see that view of the Black long-term marriage anymore. And we really see marriage as a lot of us see marriage as but we see the wedding. A lot of us want the wedding. We want to turn up. And then the marriage part is like, man, if I don't like him, or if I don't like her, I'm going to leave, So my question is, how can we as young Black people get what you and Larissa have and, lay that foundation, for years to come?
Yeah. So the thing that Larissa and I have, one, is still taking work. So it's not like, we just got married and the foundation was laid. I think one of the things that we did benefit for, that a lot of people are fortunate enough to have, is coming from a 2-parent household. My parents just celebrated 35 years of marriage. Her parents, I think 20 something. I'm sorry, Mom.
It's a long time. It's a long time. I forgot too. Sorry, Auntie.
But yeah, like when you see that firsthand in your own like life growing up, it makes you realize that you're able to kind of do it yourself. Eventually, not like when you 13, 14, when people try to be getting married and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, I believe that, that was the one thing for us, is that we had a good, model set before us already. And this kind of goes back to the inheritance piece, is being able to leave something foundational for someone to be able to clean off of. I think the other thing too is we started off long distance when we were dating. So we weren't together. We weren't around each other. I'm not saying everybody has to be long distance, but the benefits of being long distance is that it makes you talk. It makes you talk every single day. It makes you be on FaceTime, every single day. Technology has taken a world of its own, where you're able to kind of manage a long distance relationship in the best way possible. And I think when we got married, it was kind of a no-brainer for us to get married in the fashion in which we did, because we kind of like, what took 7 months felt like, we've been together for like 3 years. And a lot of people even say, y'all been together for 3 years. That's it. Like it sounds like longer, but it only sounds like longer because we put in the work to be able to, have that wisdom that we glean from inside of our own marriage as well. So I think the topic of, Black successful marriages is that, one, we talked about dying to our ego, but two, I think more more than anything, it's really taking the time out to communicate and understand one another. You're not going to be able, like a lot of people, and I see some of the most craziest stuff online, even pertaining to, and we're going to talk, I'm going to just say this a little bit then, because I might hit
go ahead
nerves. But I think the game had posted something about, the whole, why she got to pay half. If that's your girl, like you pay for everything, let her go buy some Louis or something. Real stupid. And one of the things I realized is that a lot of people who aren't married believe this.
Yes.
And I'm just like, yo, like a lot of the stuff. And when I say I see a whole lot of crazy stuff, like I feel sorry almost for anybody that's single right now, because the mindsets that kind of go on is that, like, you're thinking more from a single perspective and not a marriage perspective.
Exactly.
You're thinking from the one word we use heavily is partnership. Like, it is literally, this is a corporation. My wife and I are partners. We bring together things. We bring both of our heads, both of our ideas, both of our personalities, and combine them into one. And then now we are able to operate as, and some pastors will say CEO and COO. Like, she's the chief operating, executive, and I'm the CEO. And together, combined, we bring both of our heads and knowledge to be able to provide a thriving, not only marriage, but also foundation for Laura, our daughter.
Yep.
And I think that's the bigger notion, is that, like, are you thinking from a partnership perspective, or are you thinking from a sole proprietor perspective, where it's just you manage every little thing. And when somebody say, hey, yo, I'm going to need help with trying to pay this bill, now you mad about it.
Yeah.
For what? We partners, the bill paid.
Yeah.
Period. It don't matter how much you make. The bill paid. And I look at that, like, we talk about it all the time. Like, it doesn't matter who pays what. And it's those stupid things that I really believe that keep people single, is that, yo, you worried about the wrong thing.
Yep.
And when you get married and that man lose his job and the rent got to be paid, you gonna be mad at him.
I'm sorry, I gotta interject. This is the one thing that bothers me about the conversation, is what you just said. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got all this now. I'm doing pretty well now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, when we get married, we get together, 10 years down the road, all this could be gone.
Be gone.
All of it could be gone. Everything could be gone. And then what? Do you still mess with me? Do you still love me? Or did you love what I could do for you? And that's the one thing in this world, is like, in the single life, is like, you gotta find one that really loves you. It loves you, and really.
He just dropped the suitcase of stuff on the table. We ain't got time to unpack it all.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He just dropped it all.
I do want to touch on one thing. You got something to say, Elliot?
No, so I was gonna kind of piggyback off what Chris said, and one of the things I've realized is that a lot of people, I said some single women, they want a dad. They like, and like, I ain't tripping. If you want a dad, then go find one, like a sugar daddy. Like if you want that, then cool. But one of the bigger things is that, like, it's unrealistic. Like, we're trying to take 1970, 1930 principles and add them to 2021.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't make sense. Like, there's a lot of what my wife would tell you. She want to work. She don't want to be the stay-at-home mom. So, and that's why we putting the Laura into daycare eventually. Like, she wants to work. She don't ever want to live in a life where she doesn't work. That's just who she is. And I can even take it to scripture to show you that when Eve came into the, I've actually I think I did a reel on this, but no, I didn't, but I need to. But when Eve came into the picture, there was no kids, there was nothing. It was Adam, the responsibilities that God gave Adam and Eve, the helpmeet. And so a lot of people just don't realize that, yo, my husband, yes, is the provider. Like, I'm almost certain that what we have doesn't happen without Elliot, clearly. But in that same token, it is not right. And some dynamics are different. So I'm not saying that women shouldn't work or should work. I'm saying that what works for you should work for you.
There you go.
And that's basis of it. So when people get online and say, yo, I would never want to be married to da-da-da-da-da, I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure? Especially when the average black man is only making 40 something thousand a year. So you want him to go work 2 or 3 jobs and then be away from his family and his kids not know him. But that's another story for another day because I'm going off a little bit.
No, it's fine. You two or 3 jobs, you be away from his family, and then you don't like him because he doesn't spend enough time with you. And then you know, let me stop. Let me go ahead and let you go.
But now I want to tap into a couple of things that you just mentioned there. So one thing is just a comment or anecdote, man. Is one thing that I found talking to different guys, man. Like guys who don't want their women to work or don't want them to be independent, are guys who don't want to lose that control over that woman because they know once she makes her own, she has it. She can talk back. You know what I'm saying? She can go, and if you acting up, she can leave and do whatever she wants to do. So a lot of guys, they want to maintain that financial control so that the woman can't leave, or or go out and do her own thing if she's not being treated right. But another thing you talked about was communication. So a lot of people think communication is just talking, like, we talked about it, so it's good. But like, really break down what effective communication in the dating phase and even in marriage looks like.
Great question.
Yeah,
I don't even know. I think, man, we talked about it. So,
right. We talked exactly. That's a great question.
Yeah. So effective communication. And if you hear, my daughter talking, she just messing with me too much right now. But with effective communication, especially in dating, we'll start with dating and go into marriage. I think a lot of people think the talking phase is just minute, like, yo, like, what's your favorite color? What's your sign? All those different things. And that's probably a little aspect of it. But I think effective communication in dating is really being able to learn one another and being able to learn one another's styles of, understanding and things like that. Because I think ultimately what worked for Larissa and I was that, like, Larissa, she, when we, first started dating in the midst of, us dating and even being married, is that I wouldn't say she's strong-willed, but she, has, a part of her that, she has to be managed well, if that makes sense. And not to say that I'm
difficult, man. Larissa, you difficult. It is what it is. He don't want to say it. He got to live with you.
I'm not saying that.
I've been knowing you my whole life.
I'm not saying that.
But go ahead. I'll play.
But one of the big things about her is that she likes when I communicate to her, it's not in a rash, mean type of tone. Like, it is more so of a, hey, let's sit down, let's talk, like a soft, I'm more soft than I am anything. And so I think a lot of people just have to learn exactly how to communicate to that specific person, because what works for Chris ain't gonna work for Shaq. Mm-hmm. Chris might want someone to be like, yo, and might use some explicits and everything like that for him to understand. But other people may not like, yo, like, why are you cussing at me for? For what? Like, what's all that for? Like, if you want me to understand, let's remove the F-bombs and let's talk like normal. Like, why we got to do all of that? So I think that's the first thing, is that you have to be able to learn the partner, learn the person that you are with. And that takes time. Like, there are times where even now in marriage, like, I'm still learning how to communicate to my spouse. I think it's a lifelong thing, because what worked in year 1 may not work in year 3. And so I have to constantly switch myself and adjust in the way of communication. So I think, to bring it back to the point, is that in order to communicate effectively is to really understand the person. Yeah. I don't know if this may not be scripture, but seek first to understand, then to be understood. I think that's the 7 habits of effective something. But getting them mixed up, but it sounds like a scripture. It sounds good.
It's a bar either way.
It's definitely a bar. But seek first to understand, then to be understood. So I want to seek to understand my spouse. I want to seek to understand my girlfriend. And then I want to take the time out for her to understand by learning her, by learning who she is, how she responds to my communication. And so a lot of that, like I said, it takes work. You may, like, Chris might blow up on his girl, and his girl might be like, nah, like, I didn't hear anything you said because all I heard was rah. Like,
I mean, you had to point me out like that. You right. You right.
Like, you right there on the screen. So I just said
I mean, that. I feel you.
Hey, they in the comments, man. Larissa said, "Oop, So when she was talking to me, Auntie April said that comes from the book of Elliot 2 and verse 2, chapter 2, verse 4.
I know one of scripture. I'm sorry.
But yeah. So you got anything else, Shaq?
Man, I did want to touch on, we running up against time. I did want to touch on your HBCU experience too, man. So, if you could just give us a quick synopsis of how your time was, and I'll let Chris wrap it up.
Sure. So if anyone's never been to a HBCU and you are still, I don't want to say still within that age, if you want that on-campus life experience, I think you need to go to an HBCU. And so my experience, I went in 2008, graduated in 2012. So in 4 years, it was probably and everybody says college is the best 4 years of your life. But I really believe at a HBCU, it's magnified. There's just a lot of, when we talk about Black culture now, it's what you see now is that times 10. It just feels like a family, more than anything. So when people, and a lot of people who don't go to HBCUs or haven't went to HBCUs don't understand the dynamic of homecomings. Homecomings ain't just some party for us. It's a family reunion. Mm-hmm. It's a big deal. Even Larissa, she don't really understand it too much. Why are you so hyped about homecoming? I don't understand. But I'm you need to go to understand it.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't been, I think my experience was it was a phenomenal experience. Sometimes I really miss it. Even when the weather gets like this, I'm bro, the things I'll be doing, I'll be on campus, I'll be on the yard, chilling, even sometimes wilding out too. But, that experience alone made me who I am today. I appreciate even more. I grew up in a fairly, my dad's from Africa, Ghana, West Africa. My mom's from North Carolina. I grew up in a Black family. But a lot of the Black culture I learned outside of home, because we were really kind of more faith-based than anything. So things like Jay-Z, I bought Jay-Z's Blueprint 2 and kind of hid it in the house. My dad found it and he broke it.
Dang, I got that same story, man. My first CD, it was a PD Pablo CD. We hit that mug under the bed, man. My mom came and broke that thing.
Oh man, I got so many stories like that. my parents were not having it.
We didn't do any of that. I guess my first album my mom bought herself was Big Willie Style, which was a great album, by the way, by Will Smith. But I learned all of my Black culture experience outside of the home. Even when I had to sneak in high school to figure it out, my high school was a low-key, HBCU almost. It was kind of my first little experience. It was at Southeast of Raleigh. All the Black people went there. Everyone knew about Southeast. Everyone tried to go to the high school and transfer over to the high school as well. So I learned all of my experience outside of home. And so when I give a big love to HBCUs, it's one, because I know the experience I can afford, but two, I know that it has formed me, some amazing connections. I'm able to hit up people from school and be yo, I need this done. Can you, hop on this? Can we do this? And without question, just based off the fact that, we all went to an HBCU together. And I think it's super dope. And I've lost some friends within that HBCU experience too. I got married and those same friends that I had, they won't rock with me no more. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, the full totality of it is that it is a family, that we are family. You're going to lose family. You're going to lose a lot of those things. But the greater portion of it is that when you get to come around, when you get to be around that experience, when you get to be around that love, I don't know about a PWI, but I know that top down, head to toe, you're not going to get a better experience, period, point blank.
No, you're correct, because the PWI, me and Shaq went to white schools. White schools. Oh my God, it was white. But it's definitely not the same, man. If I didn't, if I wasn't, trying to be big time in football, I definitely would went to HBCU. And that's the thing about it. Yeah. Back then, if I had my mind right now, back then, we went to HBCU. Why not?
Right.
Brought all the publicity, brought some more money to the school, brought some more, we We gotta change our mindset with that. But yeah, I definitely would have loved that experience.
And shout out to my institution. I went to University of Dayton, so it wasn't
white.
It was very it was very PWI-ish, But definitely, I mean, so I had a good time there. It was a good school. But like to Elliot's point, like I lived in Atlanta for a year, and I used to go down to the AUC, bruh.
It's wild,
bruh.
Morehouse is homecoming.
House. Oh yeah, I know. Man. I've seen it. I've never been, but I've heard the stories. I'm like,
man, I'm glad I got up out of Atlanta, bro. It wasn't good for me.
Nothing but trouble.
Hey, not just you, me too. Because Atlanta scarred me. I ain't going back.
I can't do it.
Hey, the A was a heck of a year, boy.
Yes, sir. But yeah, man, Elliot, let's go ahead and wrap up this thing real quick. It's been an amazing talk, man. You really learned us up, man. Like the marriage talk is really something I gotta really just dig in my head. It's the second time I'm hearing this. So I gotta take it. That means it's for me. Yeah. It means it's for me. So let's go ahead to our last segment called the Final Four. It's a little hot seat questions, 4 little questions, just gonna put you on the hot seat real quick.
All right.
First thing that comes to mind.
Let's rapid fire. Shaq, I'll go first. So what is your favorite book to recommend?
Favorite book to recommend. I ain't gonna be like my wife and say the Bible, because I think she said the Bible. But I think really it's the book I'm reading now by John Acuff called Soundtracks: The Solution to Overthinking. I'm a big overthinker, and so I definitely need to be able to kind of switch my mind at a different space or a different time frame. So yeah, that'll be the book I recommend right now.
I got you.
Hey, get the next one, Chris. I'm still pulling up the questions.
I got you. So next one is: do you have a specific morning routine or daily non-negotiable?
So specific morning routine for me, I wouldn't say it's a non-negotiable. Because I ain't got no choice. It is a non-negotiable because, it's something that we do now. But morning routine, I get up, I wake up every morning, I get my daughter, she gets fed, and then, I spend time playing with her, in the morning time, because I know work is about to start. Before I end up leaving my job, it was like, by the time, 10 o'clock hit, I just knew that I had that time with her, and also being able to kind of spend time with my wife as well. Then after that, getting, freshen up and ready for the day. So I wish I could do it a different way, but I'm still learning and trying to figure out how to make it the best way.
Man, it's all good, man. It's all about trial and error. The fact is that you're taking action on getting that routine going and the daily non-negotiables going, because that's just what it is, man. If you just get up all willy-nilly and just like, I'm just let the day come to me. That's not how you get things done.
Yeah, we got to attack the day. Yeah, I'll get these last two, Chris.
Yes,
so, Elliot, how do you hold yourself accountable?
One, I hold myself accountable by telling my wife my goals. And
that's it right there.
Talk about me, but I said I was going to lose 15 pounds in May, and I didn't do it. So it's 15 pounds in June. Like straight up like that. So yeah, I tell her my goals, and I tell people close to me, like my brother's like, yo, like this is what I'm looking to do and what I'm aiming to do. And they'll check up on me every now and then, but if they see that, yo, he's really not moving toward anything, they're gonna check me for real. They're gonna give a phone call like, yo, what are you doing? So yeah, that's how I stay accountable.
Got you. Man, and one thing I read, man, is that I don't know if it's just the Black community, but I don't know, it might be more widespread. But one thing I know particularly about us is that we don't like telling people what we want to do, because we fear that accountability.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that this group has helped me do, because like I was that way. I'm like, man, I ain't telling nobody. Nah, if I don't get it, nobody gonna know. But
exactly,
man, like have people hold you accountable, and that's powerful, man.
It makes you go harder. That's what it's about. Like I said, reason we started this was that reason. It makes you go hard. We telling it to the world. Whoever gets over here, this is what we telling it to. You know what I mean? Like with our real estate bet that Shaq and Devin did, we got to do it.
It's out
this is we telling people. Everybody gonna be like, "Where y'all cribs at?" Right. So that's how it is. So
I gotta pay Hartley, man, because he's doing this thing.
Yes, yes, you do.
Last question. What is a key factor that separates the successful from the unsuccessful?
Being different. That's the big one. I know a lot of people kind of, you know, I wouldn't say get up here, but in general would say discipline. And I do believe discipline is that thing that separates. But I think being different is what really separates what you just said. I kind of drew a blank there.
Yeah,
but yeah,
from
being
different.
Successful. Because there's a lot of sameness going on, as we talked about earlier. Like a lot of people want to be digital marketers, digital branders, brand strategists, all these different things. And I think the way to success is to go down a proven path, but also to be different in that proven path. It's kind of like being on not necessarily one highway, or not a one way, but a highway with 3 different lanes. Like we're going the same direction, but how can I move into this fast lane, or how can I move into the middle lane, or how can I just stay here on this right hand lane? So I think being different is what separates it.
That's it, man. And one more thing, I'm gonna piggyback off of that is doing what God's will for your life is. Yeah, because it's going to be different, and it's going to be just for you because it's what God has for you. He's not going. What He has for you is not going to be for anybody else. That is the thing about it. So if you know that you're living in God's purpose for your life, that's going to be what's different, what's going to stand you out. So that's what it is. I had to get that out. That was on my chest.
I'm a double piggyback. I got somebody I get off my chest now.
Yes, sir.
Man, just double piggybacking on that again, man. So like Elliot said, you know, be different. And then Chris recognized, you know, listen to what God said, make sure it's for you, man, and just think outside the box on that. You know what I'm saying? Like Elliot said, you on the highway and there's 3 lanes. Well, who said you can't get a flying car and get up above and get go in the same direction? You know what I'm saying? And you get on that. Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely,
man.
Hey.
This was a good one, Elliot, man. We appreciate you, dog. This was a good one, man. Hey, everybody share this out so people can watch the replay. Hey, man, this is a good one, Elliot. We appreciate you dropping them gems, learning me something. I told you the marriage thing is really what got me. So it got me like, that's what I need. So I need to work on if I ever want to get married. I mean, some things that I need to work on, man. Be a better man. So, Shaq, you got anything else for the people?
Nah, man, we gonna put this one up in the vault, man. It's gonna be one of the platinum level shows. We're gonna have to pull out, you know, and drop gems, man. This was a hit, boy, right here. Appreciate you, Elliot. Yeah, no problem. Yes, sir. And appreciate the Freedom Founder family, man. You know, people who tapped in today and people who gonna come back and rewatch this at the end, you know, definitely appreciate y'all. But have a great Saturday. Go be great.
Yes, sir. Well, we, like I said, appreciate you, Elliot. Appreciate you, Freedom Finder family. This is episode 321 in a row. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. We're not gonna ever stop, baby. No matter who on here. We're gonna, like Shaq T said before the show, we're gonna have Mike. We have Mike and E-Rob give you a week of shows, man. We're gonna have them give you a week of shows. But yeah, man, we appreciate you, Freedom Finder family. As you know, already know, we on this thing every weekday at 8 a.m. and on the weekends at 10 a.m. and with our consistent daily action morning show. So go ahead and check us out. Yes, we appreciate y'all, man. And that's all we got for you guys today, man. I hope this talk blessed you. I know it did. Let me not say I hope. I know it did. I know it blessed some of y'all. So, hey, man, for the Freedom Finders, we signing out, baby.